Hello, my name is Lindsay from Glows Coaching and welcome to another of Lindsay's Lightbulb moments. What has Thomas Edison, Richard Branson, Einstein, Henry Ford and Harrison Ford all got in common? Well, first of all, they are all or have been highly successful, but the other thing is that they have all experienced failing in something. And today's Lightbulb moment is about the word failure. Now, as a master practitioner of NLP, which stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming, one of the presuppositions of NLP is there is no failure, just feedback. And I remember reading an article some time ago where the author was saying, how can you say that? There's no failure. Of course there is. People fail in things. And yes, people do fail in things. So for example, when I was 17, I failed my first driving test. When I was in my early 20s, I went for an interview as a programmer at Lloyd's Bank and failed the interview. In my late 20s, my first marriage failed. So many of us have experienced something that has failed, a situation, an event. However, it's different to then calling you a failure and labelling yourself as a failure. And I've worked with many clients that have done just that. They call themselves a failure because of a certain event or situation. And then they can feel quite bitter, angry, frustrated, and it can really knock their confidence down as well, which isn't helpful for them. So one thing we do is we change their perception of that event or situation so that they can really learn from it. They can get feedback from it. They can think about perhaps the wisdom they've gained or the skills that they've learned through going through that event or situation or whatever it is. So that's where there is no failure, just feedback comes into fruition. It's funny because I was already going to talk about failure today, and then at the weekend I was surfing the net and I was looking at the BBC site and I came across an article where the headline read, a top girls' school is planning a failure week to teach pupils to embrace risk, build resilience and learn from their mistakes. So isn't that fantastic? The head teacher, I think it's Wimbledon High School, the head teacher realised that some of her pupils that are high achievers get really good results. Sometimes their confidence is really knocked and they feel that they're failures if they don't get the results that they want. And what she wanted is them to be more resilient and cope with life's knocks so that they can succeed in the future better. And so therefore she's having this week where they're really doing different things so they know what it's like to fail and then look at it and then think, okay, so what have they learned from that? So that's fantastic, isn't it? How inspirational. What a fantastic head teacher. So my tip for today is for you to have a look at your knocks, your failings or situations that have failed in the past. What have you learned from them? What's the feedback that you get? And if you've got that label of failure, just let it go. You're not a failure. Just get the feedback. So if you've got any comments on today's Lightbulb moments, please do add something onto the blog. I'd love to hear your comments and your thoughts about failure and perhaps when you've overcome failings as well and what you got from that. And I'd really like to hear from you. So that's Lindsay from Glows Coaching, empowering you to shine, and I very much look forward to speaking with you next week. Thank you. Goodbye.